Fan45 here, and it's finally time for the Q&A. I've been anticipating doing this for a while, and yeah, let's just waste no time and get into it. So I'll start with the person who asked the most questions, Cynic the Critic, because he has a lot I'm actually interested to answer. So are you participating in the Criterion Challenge 2021? I am. I'm just way behind on everything. I need to just binge watch 40 in a month because I am way behind. But yeah, I'm doing it. I'm excited. I'm gonna watch Pierrette LaFou for the first time, The Age of Innocence for the first time. I've got a lot I plan to watch for the first time because of it. So yeah, I am participating and I am excited to be participating. So what is your favorite hot take? Now that's an interesting question. So I have quite a few hot takes, but I think my favorite is probably, I'll give you three because I can choose one of these. So the first is Goodfellas is pretty good, but not a masterpiece. I enjoy it, but I don't get a lot out of it. There are great musical cues, but I just didn't connect with it. Then the second hot take, Speed Racer, the film by the Wachowskis, is a masterpiece. And that's a whole other video topic. And my probably biggest hot take, the prequels are better than the originals and sequels in Star Wars. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So, what got you into Kino in the first place? So, there are two films that really started it. I'll just go over one. Mulholland Drive. So, it really just got me into it. It showed me a film doesn't just have to make sense to be good. It's a weird movie if you haven't seen it. It's not that weird now, comparing it to some of the films I've seen. But it got me really into cinema and took me down a rabbit hole that I will forever love because it introduced me to my favorite film, Twin Peaks The Return, 2046, Manhunter, but yeah, all of those, all thanks to Mulholland Drive. If it weren't for Mulholland Drive, I would not even have this channel. But yeah, Mulholland Drive got me into Kino. Okay, so what film took you more than one watch to love? Ooh, that's a tough one. I would probably say Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. So that's a strange choice, but it's mainly because the first time I watched it, I was just agreeing with critical consensus. I wasn't forming my own opinion. I just went, oh, critics say it's bad, therefore it must be bad. But on a rewatch, I came back into it with context of digital filmmaking, how certain influencers have actually influenced cinema, obviously. Read a few different reviews, and now my perspective has completely changed on it. It's a 5 out of 5 for me for a lot of reasons now. But the main reason is there's a great review I read that sums it up perfectly. George Lucas pretty much creates a digital plane in the film. No other film has reached that. But yeah, Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, it's a masterpiece. So what film took more than one watch to hate? So, key case here is Inherent Vice. So the first time I watched it, 5 out of 5. Second time I watched it, 4 out of 5. Third time I watched it, 1 out of 5. It's nothing to me. I need to give it a rewatch, but the style just didn't click with me there. It's PTA's only bad movie in my opinion. But yeah, that's it for that. So, most overrated and underrated director. Ooh, so that's a tough one. I'll start with overrated. Probably Nolan. It's Nolan or Denis Villeneuve. So, I don't necessarily hate them. I like certain films from them. Like, Nolan, Dunkirk, and Tenet are his best by far, in my opinion. Like, there is no question to me that, like, Dunkirk and Tenet are his two best movies. But that's just my opinion. Like, but Denis Villeneuve, it's like, I enjoy his stuff, but, like, he just doesn't fully click with me. Sicario is definitely his best from what I've seen. But, like, Arrival, I used to call it a masterpiece, but I've come down on it. But yeah. And in terms of underrated, there's a lot of options there. So, Oh, Franco Piavali. So, you probably have not heard of that director. So, he made two of my favorite films of all time. I still need to see his third. But he made Voices Through Time and Nostos the Return. One is a retelling of the Greek myth of Odysseus, and the second is just life advancing. And that's the only way I can explain it. But he has some of the most beautiful, and when I mean beautiful visuals I've ever seen, and some of the best use of metaphor I've ever seen, because he tells his stories completely visually. In Nostos the Return, I think there's only 3 lines. In At First Breath of Wind, there's more, but like... No, Voices Through Time. At First Breath of Wind is the one I haven't seen. But Voices Through Time tells the story of a group of kids growing up and becoming adults without any dialogue. And it's fascinating how he does it. And you see how the characters evolve and change and not really change, and that's all I'm going to say. But Franco Piavali, 2 of his films are on YouTube. Please, please, please watch them. And now, I don't like the terms overrated or underrated anymore, but I figured I would be fine using them for that question. So, would you ever love to do a review of film? Actually, yes. I am completely down to do a review of film. Not anytime we'd have to schedule, but if you want to do a review of film with me, just comment. I am completely okay with it. I did one with SGS Films last year of Street of Shame, and that was one of the most fun reviews I've ever done. We just had a great time talking about it. Like, it was just nice to have someone to talk with a film about that most people wouldn't usually watch right after. It's called Street of Shame by Kenji Mizoguchi, I believe how it's pronounced. Definitely check it out. Like, it's well worth your time. I'm planning on getting more into Mizoguchi this year, actually. But yeah, my friend, if you want to do a dual review anytime, just comment. I'm free, like, this entire week, so if you want to do it, just say. But yeah, thank you for the questions. Now on to SGS Films. What are some of your favorite books? So, I'll just list a few off because I could go off on a massive tangent. Foundation, my favorite book, and my favorite sci-fi book. Dune, my second favorite sci-fi book. The Way of Kings, Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson can write fantasy like no other. The Lord of the Rings books, classic, same with The Hobbit, throw both of those in there. Hamlet, also classic, obviously. And then, what's a good final pick? Because there are quite a lot to choose from. 2001: A Space Odyssey, the book. It's just so different from the film and gave me so much more questions. They're all great. Foundation is my favorite. If you haven't read it, check it out. Oh, and Battle Royale. Battle Royale is amazing. The movie is great, but the book is better in my opinion. But yeah. Oh, and I Heard You Paint Houses, which is the book The Irishman is based off, which reminds me I still need to see it. But I Heard You Paint Houses is one of the best mobster books I've ever read. It's one of the most investing. Check it out, like, at all costs. Just read it. Yeah. Which, if any, Lynch regulars would you like to return in his new Netflix series? So I'll just list off a few immediately. Kyle MacLachlan, Laura Dern, and Naomi Watts. those have been his big three. I want to see him with Laura Dern in something that isn't like Blue Velvet or Twin Peaks, which they're both very similar, but it's just like, I want to see Kyle MacLachlan in something else with Lynch. He's obviously in Dune and Twin Peaks, but he can do a lot more. I just am curious to see. And Laura Dern, she's the best. That's all there is to say. And then, Naomi Watts, Mulholland Drive. That's all I have to say. She is so great in that, just put her in the Netflix series. I'll ask for Lynch. But yes, thank you for the questions, and stay safe, my friend. Renee, what actor would you have play you in a film about your life? Keanu Reeves. I don't know why, just Keanu Reeves. It would be interesting. It's really all I have to say. I would just be interested to see how it turns out. Great question. It actually got me thinking about what a film about me would look like. But yeah, thanks for the question, Renee. And now on to the final 3 questions from Goosebumps Emiliano. So, let's start off with the first one. Thoughts on Last Night in Soho? I've only read the plot synopsis. I haven't looked at any sort of materials that come out on it because I don't want anything about the movie spoiled. I just want to go in blind. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. Can you review an Edgar Wright film? Probably. I might try and review one. Hot Fuzz, Baby Driver, Shaun of the Dead. They're all just super fun. But yeah. Weirdest film. So a name that immediately comes to mind is Jodorowsky, Holy Mountain, El Topo. But I think the weirdest film I've ever seen still remains David Lynch's Inland Empire. So it's weird in the conventional sense, but also weird in a filmmaking sense, and also weird in terms of Lynch's career. Go watch it. Nothing I can say can mentally prepare you for the 3 hours you're about to watch. But it has some of the weirdest stuff I've ever seen in any film. Like, there's some choices he made that just made me go, what? Like, I mean, it's a masterpiece in my opinion. Again, it made it into my top 10 when I did it on a random day for no reason. But it's just fascinating. If you haven't seen it, it's free on YouTube. Just go watch it, please. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Stay safe, stay quarantined, and have a good day.